Hello guys, it's me Zain, and today we're gonna clean up orchids and prune orchids and do shit with orchids that makes us like our orchids more if we look at them. I already touched the base of this topic like in the past. There's the link for that down in the description box and up in the corner and whatever. Actually, I'm filming on my phone, which is weird. I just want to try this out. I'm curious about the quality and the changes and whatever. Also, this is very unprofessional, like me, so we are matching, so there is no shame. And also, if you're new to this channel and you're curious about my other videos, consider the option of subscribing to my channel and also consider the option of following me on Instagram. Let's get to work and let's do shit. He is my first guest today. This is my Kelly Peach Sun. Today we're gonna do stuff which is rather a cleanup, a maintenance for our orchids, because as you can see, this orchid has some brown things here. We don't need that because it's just ugly. Also, we have some spent flower spikes here. We don't need that either. But before we... oh shit, that's not good. Okay, but before we actually do anything, I just want to mention that as orchids live and as orchids grow, they will produce new stuff all over the place all year long, because they will grow new leaves, new pseudobulbs. If it's a sympodial orchid, if it's a monopodial, it will grow new leaves and the axis will be longer and longer. So there's gonna be new stuff continuously growing on it. By continuously, I mean that some orchids can be dormant at some point, but that's not the deal right now. Some parts will be older and older. Those parts will be less efficient in doing some stuff, doing their stuff. Fresh new leaf grown on an orchid, it's super beautiful, green and juicy, but as it ages and as it gets older and older, it might develop some patches, it might get some infestations, so after time the efficiency will be less and less. So therefore the orchid's thinking is that, oh well, I will get rid of that old shit, I don't need that, I will grow new stuff anyways. So as we humans throw out our old stuff which is not working anymore, orchids do the same. And as they are throwing out stuff, they dry it up, they suck all the energy from it, they suck all the moisture from it, and after a time they get brown and papery and there's like no moisture in this cane at all. I have this brown leaf which is pretty much dry, but also I have these two pseudobulbs here. One of them is this pseudobulb and the other one is this pseudobulb. They are dry, so I can get rid of them because I don't like to look at them like this. It's ugly, ew. So I will remove those. Now, removing dry stuff from orchids is safer than removing wet stuff like infections and whatevers. In dry stuff there is no moisture, and if there is no moisture there is no medium in which fungi and bacteria and whatevers can actually thrive and can do stuff. If there is no moisture, there is no life there. So basically it's safe. So basically cutting stuff with an unsterilized scissors is safe. But still, we can transfer pests, because there might be, if there is one pest on one plant and I touch it with my scissors, the pest might be on the scissors. And if I touch another plant with that, holy shit, highway of pests. So I don't want to do that. I will sterilize my scissors. Wow, wow, oh shit. So with this, it's pretty easy. We just need to cut it. But with canes or pseudobulbs, you need to actually keep in mind that you want the rhizome to remain like intact. You don't want to cut into the rhizome because that's the connection between everything. You don't want to cut the rhizome, only the pseudobulbs. So at the base of the dry pseudobulb, I will just cut it, and that's gonna be all. Oh. It's harder than I thought. I might need pruning scissors here, but I'm just too lazy, I'm not gonna do that. I'm just cutting this other dry cane as well. Ah, shit. With callias, the thing is that you don't only get dried flower spike, sometimes you get sheets as well. Here is the dried flower spike, which comes from a dried sheath. We are safe to cut everything basically from here. And I don't want to look at this dry sheath here, so yeah, I'm just cutting it away. And I might need another scissors because this is not working. Just like that. It was easy. Okay, it's not that easy with the scissors, which is like this shitty, but you know, you get the idea. And I just got wet. No, I mean, I have happy sap on my fingers right now because, you know, yeah, it's happy sap. It's actually not that bad. I always wondered if there is an orchid which has a pretty powerful fragrance. Actually, the fragrance will transfer into the happy sap as a kind of a flavor, and I want to test it out, but you know, maybe that's a stupid idea. I'm not sure about that. So I cleaned up this orchid. Let's get to the next one. This huge guy is my Grammatophyllum scriptum variety citrinum, and it's really close to me. From this one, I don't want to cut anything, and there is a reason for that. As you can see, this is the newly grown pseudobulb. Where is it? This is the newly grown pseudobulb, and as you can see, there is brown stuff. Brown stuff means usually dry stuff. But if I touch these leaves here, which are brown, I can still feel that there is moisture inside, and I don't want to do that. I'm not gonna remove anything which is still wet because I might put into danger the newly growing pseudobulb, even pseudobulb or a new cane, if it's not hardened up. If the actual sheath, which is covering the newly growing thing there, if it's still not dry completely, that means that the insides, the newly growing cane or pseudobulb, still need some protection. If that needs protection, who am I to actually disturb it? So no. I just wanted to show you this example. Even though this is brown, I'm not gonna remove it. Who is this ugly piece of shit? This is my Catasetum planiceps. It goes into dormancy in the winter time, and as it's winter time right now, it's in dormancy, and I have shit to say about this one. This was the newly grown cane, this green stuff here, and as Catasetums go into dormancy, they shed the leaves every year, every single year, all of it, so it actually remains like this, ugly. And what remains after the leaves? Well, the basis of the leaves will be still attached to the pseudobulb, so basically if you don't remove any leaves from your Catasetums, if you just let it shed anything it wants to shed, basically the whole plant will look like this top part of this pseudobulb. Brown sheets sticking out from everywhere. You know what's the perfect hiding place for pests? That. So I don't need that in my collection, even though I like these rather more natural looking things with orchids and with my plants. So if I would live in an ideal world, in an ideal greenhouse, let's say, or whatever, where there are no pests at all, I would leave them on because I like that, but I don't want pests, so hiding place, I'm just gonna peel that. That's easy. Actually, I really like peeling orchids to the bulbs because it's just satisfying. The sound is great, and it's just, yeah. Call me crazy, but I like it. There are some yellowish bendy pseudobulbs here. Now these pseudobulbs will be also dried up in a few weeks or months, and I'm gonna remove them also. Since this is a Catasetum, I will repot it this spring into fresh, I think, sphagnum moss. I think that's gonna be the best option for this year. When that happens, I hope that these bulbs will be dried up perfectly, dried up completely by then, so I can easily just remove them with scissors and I don't have to fuss about open cut wounds and stuff. If the wound on a plant is open and it's still wet and moisture is there, that's the open gate for everything which wants to attack your plant. I'm not doing that. I'm just saying that when I go around, I look around in my collection and I see more orchids with a bunch of dried stuff, I just go and peel them off, cut them off, remove them and make my orchids beautiful again. Oh, it's too bad that the bloom is too high up. Whatever. That's not the interesting thing for today. But this ugly leaf is. Holy shit, this video is outrageous. Since this leaf is gonna be dead in no time, I wanna cut it. I wanted to show you this leaf that if you really want to, you can actually go and cut this leaf at the base, because it will be like dried up in no time. But if you do that, there's gonna be an open wound, stuff like that. I don't want to bother with that right now. But at the base, in the pot, at the base of the plant, there is the original. You cannot basically see anything, but here this was the original flower spike, and these are the original parts of the mother plant. Now this is pretty much dried up, so it looks like it will come up really easily, so I will try to pull on it at first with my hands, and if I'm lucky, yeah, it just comes off. Because as Paphiopedilums grow, they always will dry up the mother plant. I mean, they always dry up the fans which are older. And this is what happened with the mother plant. The leaves are already like dried up and removed, and this was the base, and now I removed that too. This leaf is still alive. This is from the original plant, but as you can see, it's yellow and it's gonna be dead and dry in no time. So I'm just gonna wait for these leaves to dry up completely, and then I'm gonna remove these also. This is my Lycaste aromatica, another dormancy type orchid. It's going into dormancy right now. As it's going into dormancy, it's shedding the leaves, and as you can see, this leaf right here is brown and dry, and as I can see it, there is nothing there which holds this leaf anymore. So look at that. Wow. Yeah, that was it. This is what's gonna happen. There is this still brown leaf base attached, and sometimes they don't really want to come off easily. So if I'm in the mood, I just go and cut these brown parts away. But if you just leave them on for like another year or half a year, it will decompose even more. So it will be basically really easy to pull them off from the plant. Now, this is the case which is pretty interesting. I already started to remove some things from this Oncidium, but then I got the idea, oh, I want to show you. As Oncidiums go, around the pseudobulbs there will be some leaves, and after a time these bottom leaves will be shed. As you can see, these top leaves will be shed after a longer time as well, but on the newer pseudobulbs the bottom leaves are still there, and they will be slowly but surely drying up. And I like to remove these because some Oncidiums, it's just really easy. They dry up, you can pull on them, and that's all. That's not the case with this one. After years, those leaf base parts are still there. They are still strongly attached to the mother plant. So with these kinds, I just like to go in there, dry part sticking out. I just cut them because there was a lot of these dry bits sticking out from the bases of the pseudobulb, and it was ugly. So with this particular one, I just like to pull on them a little bit, and if they come off, I'm lucky, but regularly they don't come off, and I just cut them. So these were some of the techniques which I'm using with my plants, with my orchids, when I'm cleaning them up. You know, I just like to go around and look at them and what's happening and check them out. And now let's get into the frame something beautiful. So this is my video for today. It's not like a tutorial or something, it's my idea about cleaning up orchid stuff, you know. So yeah, if you liked it, click on the like button. If you disliked it, click on the dislike button. Something happened on my laptop. So subscribe to this channel, subscribe to my other channel, and don't forget to follow me on Instagram and do all this shit. And yeah, that's for today. See you next time. Bye guys.